But you know that show was shot in Chicago. Chicago on fire right now, man. Your boy Jesse Wildin'. I ain't gonna mess with that because I'm just waiting for that to unfold.
Jesse Smollett and the
partner Clyde told me
the supposed racist, homophobic attack.
But then of course, you know,
oh, you can spend the whole show. You can spend the whole show on that.
You know, but
that's a whole show.
We got to talk about Kellz because it's just some. I mean, you know, of course, most of us could see this coming. You know, he had a good run.
Oh yeah.
But I always tell people, man, I don't see how he'd go to jail. You saw him hit on the girl, but whatever. So you know, he got new things that are coming out. It's the whole new climate, the Me Too movement. He's not hot. He's not as much of an asset to the company.
I think that's the bullet point right there. He's not hot. He's not.
So he's vulnerable, and but it's just some things some things that are coming out of the situation that are just interesting, like especially around his finances.
Yeah, yeah. Which is, I mean, the just to take it back just a split second, I agree. He was found, is it innocent or not guilty, whichever one you want to look at it. Back in those days, I think he was at his prime. He was still viable. He's making a lot of people a lot of money. And somehow or another, despite the video, despite everything that was right in front of the jurors' faces, he was found not guilty. Of course, it did help that the girl in the video, her parents didn't want to, co-sign that it was actually her. But you didn't really, from what they say, you don't really need her parents to say that it was her, it was him. So I'm just saying he was found not guilty. He was found innocent.
But the way being found not guilty is by the jury, right?
Right.
So. I saw a woman on TV, the black woman the other day, said something that I'm like, I'm crazy. It's crazy. I never even thought about this because she was, choking up and upset about it. But the reason why you had somebody that could give him benefit of the doubt and be like, I don't know, maybe it wasn't him, to where, it was undecided, is because, like the lady said, it was because it was black girls. And they didn't care. If he had peed on a white girl, I don't care if he paid that family $50 million, the state would have found a way to press charges and convict him. So, I mean, we ain't got to get into that, but it was just something that popped up that I was like, that makes a lot of sense. That's really, when you can't just say like,
no, I agree.
He just got away because he had a good lawyer, he had money. The jury had
No, I agree. This is
like, well, maybe it wasn't him.
This is America. You have to consider race in all things.
Right.
So I agree. Like you said, that's a deeper dive.
Yeah.
But we just keep it at a kind of a surface level. Let's just say he got off because he was viable, he was making money, he was profitable to a lot of people.
Right.
He's not in that same space today. I mean, they say he had his biggest hit non-commercial with Chocolate Factory right after he got off.
Oh yeah.
And people
I remember when Initial Remix came out.
Yeah.
I went straight to number one. I was like, this is crazy.
And people were guilty in their celebration of the music, but it was good music. Like if you just tune out the fact that this guy supposedly peed on a young underage girl, just listen to the music in and of itself, it was good music.
Well, it's just interesting that all the timing of like we said, the Me Too movement and just the culture and women being more vocal and the whole time's up. Like it's a rap for getting away with it. You seen Bill get locked up. Just the timing of that and his funds tapping out, it just put him like. Yeah,
he's at the most vulnerable. He's at the most vulnerable he's ever been. You have no funds. The bail was $1 million. They say he didn't have $100,000, which you would think that R. Kelly, after 27 years in the game, would have $100,000.
So as a music guy, and it's general knowledge, period, that aside from his own songs that he's written, big hits for tons of people.
Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston.
And so that generates residual income every single 3 months. You getting some nice publishing. So I'm not that aware of. Clearly he has some horrible contracts. So I'm understanding there's some things floating around specifically in terms of what he didn't have rights to.
Yeah, I think in the presser, his lawyer said he didn't have, and saying that he couldn't get out, he revealed that he didn't own the rights to I Believe I Can Fly, which is his biggest hit ever.
Who owns that? Space Jam?
Now, Mike is shrewd.
It was Space Jam. It was all that.
Space Jam movie. Yeah.
I can see if Mike got.
But it just transcended. It transcended.
It's crazy.
So much.
But no. So first of all, he's on. The whole time he's been on Jive Zomba, and they're pretty notorious for very lengthy, ironclad contracts. used to hear. You remember when they used to have them stories in the early 2000s about how Full Force was the groups behind a lot of the Britney Spears, and and they had hits. People had forgotten about them, but they were behind the scenes. They was doing this pop stuff. They had a horrible publishing deal with them for years, so I know that's possible that he had just a terrible deal. I'm surprised that this many years he wouldn't be able to get out of it. But it must be a combination of that and just you saying that you've heard of him even having to sign some stuff away in settlements.
Yeah, possibly. Just things that come across my tablet, phone, whatever, that possibly in some of these settlements with some of these young girls in the past and their families that maybe he signed away some of his publishing rights to certain things to make some of this go away. And I believe it because if you're on video having sex with young girls, you don't get to stay out of jail for nothing.
Right. That's what I was thinking.
Just because you have a great lawyer, you're going to give up something to maintain your freedom. And for him, it may have been worth it. 25, 30 years in jail versus giving up some publishing. You're going to give up the publishing.
No. So the way that works is nobody would give up publishing because that's so permanent and residual. He would give up cash on hand before he would give up publishing. So the question is why he didn't have enough cash on hand to be able to pay people off, because you're making money.
Well, that doesn't really surprise me because they said that Michael Jackson had no cash.
So it was
he owned things, and that's why he was always extended a line of credit because they knew he owned certain things.
Okay.
And so the power is not in the dollar; the power is in the ownership.
No, that's where the power is, but that's what you would give up last.
I'm just saying, but that's what I'm saying. But
resort.
These allegations have been dogging him for years. At some point, the money is going to run out, and you're going to have to go to Plan B.
Right.
Plan B is going to be ownership of some of this stuff. He's had tax problems too. That's not for the tax problems. So
I think it's possible that all this time he could have had lawyers on retainer, like all the time, 365 days a year
for the last 20 years.
Yeah, so that's possible.
That's possible too. And the one thing I'll say real quick before we probably get on to the next topic, I think this is like the OJ piece too. I definitely think that this is the part where you get away, but then they get you later. OJ got away with murder, supposedly, and then they get him for this robbery of his personal items, things that he lost in the civil trial. They got him, and I think that this is R. Kelly. You got away in the 90s when you were still viable. Now you're not worth anything. I heard that Sony just dropped him or whatever the label situation he was in. He just got dropped. And so now he's at his absolute weakest. You can't even put up $100,000. So there was no incentive for anyone to push a couple buttons behind the scene to keep him out of jail. I think he goes to jail.
Oh, he goes to jail.
I really do. And I feel bad for him because I saw his mugshot. He's 53, 55. I mean, he's not like a young man. He's like 50-something years old.
I don't feel bad for him. And
I'm sorry. Let me be clear.
No.
Let me be clear. I don't feel bad for him in the sense of I want him to get off.
No, I get
it's just
that
a sad story across the board.
But plus, I just don't feel bad for him because he rocked out, man. He had a nice run. Like I said, he should have been in jail. That's true. In the stories, if you watch the documentary, they say he's been doing this since the early 90s because he got on when he was like 26, 27. So he was already older when he got on. And so he was, even back then, he was going to the local McDonald's, the local high school, the local whatever. So he's been doing this. How old do you say he is?
Who Kelly now?
Yeah.
He's like in his 50s. Okay. Easily. I mean, he was 27 when they said he married Aaliyah. That's like in 95. That's what, 24 years later? That put him at what? 27 plus 24? What is that? I can't add that fast. 51. It's like 51, 52.
Yeah, he's about right.
Yeah, so, we'll see. But if I had to give an idea or give an opinion, I think he's definitely going to hit the slammer.
And you're correct. He's 52.
52, okay.
Just had a birthday.